Hello and welcome back to Railroads Online. I am River and we are down here by the smelter because we have loaded up a load of iron rails ready to test out our new track. I did come down the little part of it and really I'll show you, but the one switch we put in on the hill, that's going to be a tough one. We're going to have to check that one ahead of time, but I did switch it so that on our way back up will be in good shape. Now the other thing I didn't do is switch on the way out, but we'll just pull over there, I guess, and that'll give our steam a little time to build up because we've been sitting here for a while. So if you didn't watch the last episode, we hooked up to the coal mine. So hopefully we don't have too many problems with the rails. I think we got all the trees. I didn't run up and down the line yet, so we're going to have to take it a little bit slow. It was either do these rails or go to the sawmill and do some beams. I thought, well, these will give us a little bit money quicker. They're here. We haven't hauled rails at all anywhere. And these are $18 per rail, so $180 per car. We have 6 cars. So, or no, yeah, 180. So 80 times 6 is going to be, wait, I'm sorry, 18 times, 180 per car. Yeah, so we're going to get close to $1,000, I hope, for this load. All right, let's do this real quick. I think we need to put some of that in there. Yep, still didn't even register. So we'll put all 10 pieces in. Oop, somehow I missed a piece, it looks like. That's all right. Like I said, our fire temperature is very low, so we'll run out. And the good thing is the way we worked out our cordwood, we should be okay, because we should sort of semi-automatically leave that switch in the right position. Probably wouldn't hurt to cut some extra trees down there, huh? Be able to see it a little bit sooner. So yeah, it's tough. The coming down that hill, that switch, or going up the hill is probably going to be enough of a pain, but at least coming up the hill you can stop in time. And coming down, it's actually going the wrong way because you're coming into the top part of the Y, which is like the derail. So it's not even like it just sends you the wrong direction. It crashes you if you're coming down that hill. But chances are, if we're going up to the lumber mine or up to the iron ore, it would be kind of odd for me not to have switched to go up there. Like, for example, we're heading up there now. We're going to switch it to go to the coal mine. So when we come back down, it should be fine, right? It would be pretty darn odd that I would go up there, leave a railroad, and then not drive back down. So we should be in good shape anyway. So we just should have to flip this one switch. I did get a comment for you guys. It was a few weeks ago or a week ago. I've been making a lot of episodes, enjoying the heck out of this, and I'm feeding to you guys almost 1 hour at a time, except for the last big thing. Let me stop before we crash. But they mentioned that it's kind of a cheat with the firewood, where on this side we're supposed to dump off, logs or cordwood, I guess, is what this symbolizes. And I think I'm of two feelings about it. Somebody else mentioned that, they feel like it's cheaty that they don't have to pay for the firewood, but they get paid to drop it off. Right? So in other words, when you drop that wood off, you do get the price of like $10 for the cordwood or for the logs. I'm assuming cordwood anyway. So, you know what I'm saying there? So it's sort of a mixed thing. It's not like it's just clearly some kind of cheaty. I mean, I'm not making money off of dropping it off, but eventually I think we could consider that. But I would like to see it where they actually charge us money for the firewood would be fair enough. All right, now we're in business. So from now on, as many runs up there, we shouldn't have to switch anything other than the 2 in and outs of loops. I switch these on the way down. And then I stopped deliberately and switched. This next switch that we're coming to is on the side of the steepest part, or pretty close to the steepest part of the whole thing, and So that's going to be the tough one. It's really not a very good location for it, but up further there's a sharp turn, so we can really get into that. I guess we could go a little bit faster here, but let's see, how are we doing with our iron ore? Our rails. Pretty good. Looking forward to the $1,000 for a trip. That'll quickly get us into territory of a new engine. I've been looking into them a little bit. I definitely want to get into one. I think, it's pretty standard belief that these porters are OP, and I tend to agree. I think they should be struggling a little bit more on hills, but I guess they do this for the sake of new players. When your skills aren't so great, there's probably enough frustrations, and it's early access. I'm sure they'll rebalance things as they change things, if nothing else. Plus, as people complain, most game developers change things and people complain a lot. So let's see. I want to kind of take my time, and got to keep an eye out for trees. It's certainly possible. I've missed the tree. That was too close. There we go. We are switched in the right direction. Coming up, we could stop like in no time because we're on that hill. But coming down, that's quite literally, like one of the steepest little stretches is right there. It's not long, but it's this like 8 slope, I think, 7 or 8 slope. Decorated the gravel a little bit there, cleaned it up. All right, here we are, first run. It's not very straight, not very impressive to start out. Maybe we'll straighten it out more one day. This will be fine though for us. It's kind of exciting to have a whole new route opened up. We'll just head up at 34 and see how we do. I guess we might have to slow down around certain spots. And we might have to give it a little more gas on some of the hills, but it should be a pretty gradual run up there, to be honest. It shouldn't be... I don't think I ever really went over 5 very much. I mean, some places are pretty... a lot of gravel we've used, like even here. I did get a request to keep it, to the contours of the land, and I'm going to try to keep it realistic. I think when they built railroads, you can't have it too up and down, and I think I'm making a reasonable attempt considering it's a game that doesn't charge me anything. If they started charging me for gravel, that would be a whole new thing. Oh, this is getting tough. Let's just stop. I don't think we're going to hit that tree, but I don't want that tree there anymore either. Now the problem is, let's hope it doesn't derail us. See, when that happens, it can, if it shoots off and hits your train, it can cause you problems. Or if it comes back down and hits your train. Just get rid of the whole group of them here. Get rid of him because he looked at me funny. Okay, looks like you might lean in there. I wouldn't think if you were piling up that gravel that you would just leave those in there like that. I think part of the job would be to get rid of them. See, like that tree, it's not bothering us from the train's point of view. But... All right. And that's the way this trip will go a little bit. Hopefully not too often, but we're out of fuel. We probably should, before we even get started. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, it would be nice if we could add fuel while we're in this F view. And part of the problem is when I wish you could even I don't mind getting out of it and I could put wood in, but does it have to put on the brakes? Maybe you could have I don't know, checkbox there to... If you really didn't want, if you wanted to force me to grab the wood and put it in, I don't have a problem with that. It might be easier just to have a checkbox that says, "Look, don't put on the brake there." That would give it a little more juice. Well, we're looking pretty clear of trees through here. Oh, I meant to look at the money. Oh, it's not that important. Game's not all about the economy. This game's more about driving trains. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we do well at 38. We're getting better at laying these tracks down. Like, I don't think it's perfect, but I know the worst things to avoid, and I think the toughest thing is just when you have a tight turn. I'd like to get those trees one day, but they're not really bothering. They're not that close. Yeah, the tight turns are the worst. You know, you really try to want to avoid those because that's where you, even when you get good at, you know, leveling everything and you get good at laying the track down pretty even, it's just still, if you're just off a little bit, you can get yourself into a derail kind of situation. And overall in the Steam forums, there's definitely more complaining about the track laying, I think, than any other particular valid complaint that's normal. Like, and by valid, I just mean about the game itself. It's not, I think it's too expensive. Oh, do we have a tree right there? Yeah, this isn't overly straight. I mean, I appreciate that people have opinions about what's expensive, but I'm not sure if people that are complaining that $35 is a lot of money actually have work for a living and pay bills, because I don't know, I could spend $35 in a heartbeat. And I understand some people are in other countries where they, this is kind of sharp. What are we doing? Yeah, let's go tree. Let's get some of these trees. Too close for my comfort. Hit them, but no reason to keep them. This is our shakedown cruise anyway. It's just a bonus that we're going to make some money. Yeah, see, did we miss this one? There, yeah, this is the one that scared me. I thought we were going to hit him. Get rid of a few of these while we're here, if we didn't. That look good, much better. Can't. A puff of dust is hard to see sometimes. I'll leave that guy. Yeah, there's a few up ahead. Let's go get those real quick. They're not really that close, but the limbs are hanging into the railroad track. That's probably grounds for annihilation. There was a game, oh, Dyson Sphere, which is a good game if you guys ever want like a Factorio-like games made by Chinese developers. Not that that matters that much. Dyson Sphere program, and you build like a energy sphere around the Earth, or around the sun, to absorb the sun's rays and shoot it back to the Earth so you can use it. They used a word like that in the game where it was like, decimate. Yeah, that's what it was. It was decimate the. If you delete this tank, it will decimate the contents. Yeah. Oops. All right, so let's, here's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. And put the rest of the wood back. All right, that only took us up to 40, so we didn't waste any wood. All right, back onwards. Because at some point we're going to come up to these bridges. We can't look at the map, and I didn't look at the money we have here either. Each time I go, I inch it up a little bit. I want to slow it down. Yeah, you know what? I stopped. I didn't want to run too far ahead, but there's a few trees here that need to go as well. Yeah, I don't know. Now that they're popping into focus, I think we'll leave them go. They're off the gravel. That one's just touching us. Same thing with these. I think they'll be okay. Especially because they're not leaning in. Yeah, you know what? Let's stop again. I think there's just a few this whole stretch that are just a bit too close. All right, let's do the money thing. 2,100. Oh. That's a good amount of money to build this. There was somebody else that left a comment somewhere, I don't know, wherever I read it, about the economy. Certainly a strange choice with the trees being the actual expense to building your railroad. And I guess they were wishing for it to be, you know, whether you actually paid for the tracks. I don't know. I'm not sure actually how much difference it makes. This is certainly, I think, friendlier. And I also think they're, you know, I can't imagine this is their goal for the economy. I mean, it sort of works, but, and I could see where you should get charged for cutting down trees potentially. I'm not sure, unless you have a logging operation, it would be, you know, if you owned a railroad, you got to pay somebody to cut these trees down. You probably didn't get anything for the wood. I know where I live, people that cut down trees, I burn a wood stove, and I've had guys just stop by and offer me wood, you know, just because they can't they have to pay to get rid of it. You know, they have to go to the dump or whatever it is to dump it. And the dumps don't really want this kind of the wood, because it's not real, like it degrades. Like if they have regular garbage, once they pack that landfill full, that's it, right? They don't have to worry about it like decomposing and then like slumping. So the problem with wood and brush is that it decomposes. So you actually get charged more. So they have to let it sit there for a lot longer. I'm way off the path here, aren't I? I'm just cutting every tree in the woods down. Yeah, I really didn't come through. I'm going to keep going because there's plenty on the other side. So anyway, yeah, I don't think these trees are really worth anything, or at least not as worth as much as you might think. Maybe because they're a certain kind of pine tree they would be, but certainly not worth as much as you would think. Which is kind of a shame when you think about it. If we're all worried about global warming, you know, really my wood stove, when you think about it over the years, the wood stove is actually like carbon neutral, because, you know, I'm just cutting down trees that have grown recently, and a lot of those trees have gotten their carbon out of the atmosphere over their lifetimes. So as we go forward, you know, heating your house with a wood stove actually is kind of carbon neutral, or at least close to it. As opposed to the oil tank that I have in my basement. Anyway, how did I get on that? Oh well. Guess it's better than just listening to the noise of tree chopping down. cut these, but I do like the way it looks when it's more. Yeah, that's good enough. Always come back when you guys aren't sitting there watching. Get back to the exciting part here. We don't have much wood. Let's see how far we get. I think once we get to a certain point, the big bridge or the bigger bridge, then we're going to be okay because I cut a lot more of those trees down as we went. Just because they were, I mean, we knew when we were on the side of the cliff there that the track was only going in one place, so I figured I might as well cut them all. There wasn't going to be too much adjustment going on. But the track laying went pretty well, I would have to say. There's little spots like right there, I would, fix the gravel up or... but other than that, you have to be a more meticulous person than I am to worry too much about that stuff. This could have probably been a bridge here, huh? It's a lot of gravel. Yeah, we can consider replacing that with a bridge. And then this, I think, is just a little bridge for a similar place like that one. It's a little wompy right there with the... Yeah, I don't like that hole with the way the cars kind of bounce a bit. If you were going fast, that's going to be a problem right there. This tree right here. We're going to hit it, but... certainly a little too close for my comfort. And this one up here. I think, where are we at on the map? Yeah, we're just about to that bridge. This should be some of the last trees we would cut. It's my bet anyway. Yeah, let me go get this one so we can... Some of these that are a little further off just help the vision because I don't ride in first person. And there was definitely... One person was saying that they actually used to operate a train similar to that, to this Porter. And that it's silly that you can't see through the windows when you're standing there. And I agree. Like, I tried it when I first started. I mentioned that before. But, when you get in this train, look, we're at the height of the windows when we're standing outside. So by the time you get in, you can't see, right? Like, it's just, and then if you crouch, you can't see anything either. So it's sort of like you need a chair to sit in or something. All right, so let's put some more wood in here. 37 wood now. We still have pressure. Oh, what did I do there? We don't want to go too fast over this bridge, especially not at the bottom of it, at the other side, because that's probably the most dicey turn on this whole thing. But let's see how well we did too. So. See the coal mine from here? Sometimes you can't see this stuff, but once you start working, it should be like right over there. Yeah, you know what? There it is. You can kind of see it. Right there. Let's pay attention. This is... I'm going to slow down because it's fairly steep downhill. How does it look on that transition? It's, could be better. It's not terrible. We're going to need some brakes. A lot of brakes. I guess it's not too bad. It's not... Let's cut the brakes down some. Yeah, that's not good, though. Yeah, that's not conducive for 100-mile-per-hour flight, Take the brakes off. We should be uphill most of the rest of the way. And I have the sound volume way down low, which is great for me talking when we're driving the train, but it's also, I noticed it's really, I can't hardly hear the noises. So hopefully the balance has been better in the last few episodes. Or at least that you can hear me. I'm not sure how much you need to hear the racket of the train anyway, so. Good sign that you want to hear me over the train noise. That's, thank you. This is going to be a long trip when you think about how many trips you need to make up here to... Well, this is a good amount of stuff, too, because we have, what, 10 per car at 6 cars. So this is 60 rails that we're bringing up here. So this isn't like the beams. We're going to have to make a lot of trips for these beams. Or we're going to get ourselves an upgrade. And for those of you who may not have heard me say it, I don't intend to pull any more cars than 6 with this guy. Even though you could probably get away with 27, we're going to buy ourselves a proper locomotive. We'll do a little bit of research before we do. Now apparently some of them are more geared for speed and some of them are more geared for torque. And I'm definitely thinking that in the beginning we'd be better off with the torque. If we can only have like one, oh, that's a steep, oh, that's a tight turn. Oh, what did we hit? We hit no rail. Oh, jeez. Yep. All right, well, oops, I didn't mean to get in there. And I'm going to run this guy. Oops, I got to click on him. We missed a rail, huh? Let's take this guy. You know what, and for a long time, I'll take him all the way up so we can get some of these other cars off here. For a long time, I didn't know what they mean about left-click rotate. Like, I've been seeing that sign. Well, this is... Well, why can't I left-click rotate? Porter... There you go. See how it... I can't really see. See how it flips him around? So now he's facing the right direction. Wow, did that derail everything, too? Let's do this. Fix him probably while that guy's sitting there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of you guys was screaming at me. Can I get up there? Yep, there you go. Did I miss him? There you go, flat car. Yes, we'll put him all the way up here, just so we have room to straighten him out, not on a turn. All right, and then let's make sure as we put them down, do we have... All right, that one's ready to go. Put the link in this one. That guy embedded himself in the ground. Let's do him not next because... I want to put one of them, let's say here, right? Put this guy like that with the brakes on. And then that way, when we put this guy on, he doesn't just come right back down and what? Say, let's do this. That was close. I had to get rid of that second link. All right, so they're not linked together. That guy's already got a link in them. Yeah, let's get rid of this link. All right, because that guy, I'll always try to put the link in this car. All right, and then this guy should be able to set the brake on him. He's got a link, but since we can get the brake on him, let's see about finding a good spot. Yeah, that's going to be the worst. Maybe he'll go right here. Oop, I didn't click on them. Sometimes they resettle on the curves. I think, all right, so let's see if we can get this guy. Yeah, hopefully he'll. They do tend to find their wheels, I think, in an unnatural way. All right, let's hope that other guy. You know what? We could probably. Let's get on this guy. There you go. All right, so this guy, no link. Again, we'll make sure this guy already has a link. Yep. No link. I'm saying if we had the like we're regulator off here and let's give it a little bit of break. Break. It's really not that steep a hill, I don't. Or maybe it is steeper than I'm picturing, but whatever. All right. Oops. Let's do it from this side. I don't like heights that much. All right, that one clunked. Yeah, clunk. This one's already locked in. Can't get there because I'm stuck on the wall. That one's locked in. That's the last car, so now we can start doing. It's kind of scary when you're sitting there and you undo this and the car itself starts to move because of the length of the link. What? Oh, it's already off. Oh, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one that was one of the ones that was upside down. Right. Oops. Let's get some wood in here. Even though it's probably a bit of a waste. Yeah, we might need to. We might need to put a wood thing up here, I think. And if we do, I guess we should consider how we would do it and fill it with cordwood, right? For the fairness of, like, I'm willing to accept that the wood is free and easy, but I do like the idea, the challenge of, are we all coming along, by the way? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. No. Am I missing a car? Yeah, I'm missing a car. Did it go all the way back down the hill? Oh no, you know what? Let's make sure I don't see it right over there. It's not going to get past that bridge. I guess we should. All right, let me make sure to count. One, or did we? Oh, come on, don't go down the hill. Come on. Can't get stuck on that rock, can I? All right, so let's do this. One, let's go on the inside so I don't fall off again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, I have a feeling it's right down there by the bridge. Do we drop these off? Yeah, let's drop these off and go get it. Not really. Right, we'll check out our, what do you call it, our turn-off lane. Like maybe we'll just go park them, and then we'll come back up with that one car after the rescue mission. Yeah, that's a shame. And that was just I didn't even notice that was missing. Somebody must have came in the night and stole it. I'm sure I did something dumb to forget that I had set it up that way. Oh, you know what? I remember because we were resetting the gravel. Turn this down a little bit. Right. So these aren't right. This one's fine. I do want to, I'll pull in this way, not that it matters. But this one is sending us over to the thing. So what I'm wondering is, I probably should just back down there, huh? With all the cars and go hook it up. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go off there alone and rescue it. But, well, we still have time. So otherwise, not too bad. I think there's some spots that let me talk less and focus on driving and trying to get my speed up and see if there's some spots where I feel like we have to slow down too much. I already feel like there are a few that I might be able to improve that just weren't done very well. Okay, so this looks like a double unloading, which is nice compared to the... I'm going to assume we can unload at both of these. Certainly would make a lot of sense. All right, so how many do we have? Oh, we only have room for 50. Well, guess what? If that's the case, there's not much sense in bringing it. Oh, no, are we too far away? We're missing some. No, we got them all. Just didn't that one look like it fell off the thing? So we can't put more than 50 in here anyway. So the fact that we lost that car is kind of not the end of the world. Spin around the other way so I can better judge where to stop. And I'll put a marker up here for future. Except for that tree. Same thing's going to happen on this one. Too far? Yeah, let's back up some. Really hard to judge. This is the one thing that I do, one of the things, not the one, but one of the things that I think could certainly make it a friendlier single player thing is to have some system that's helpful to unload these. Let's see now, how forgiving are these? I hate to lose. Yep, so it's as long as you're in there, because we could get 3 at a shot, can't we? See if they all get counted. Yeah, it pretty much seems like they will. Yeah, it's a little scary the way they don't go right in there on this. All right, so my vote is that we just head back down. Right, because we can't, I mean, we could leave that car up here, but we might as well just bring it down and then get, 5 beams and then bring that back up. I'm not sure how much of that you guys want to see exactly. I'm coming back over here to flip this switch so we can just head back out. And we'll, just like we did the last time we lost a car, we'll just push it back down in the front of the train. And I'll take it back down to the lumber mill with me, I guess, and sort it out there. Maybe we can finish off the episode when I get down there. Well, actually, we should go find this thing together just to see where it ended up at. Then I'll head down there and we'll do some yard work together. And when I'm ready to come back up, we'll probably be about the end of this episode. And oops, we're doing reverse. Not that much. I'm trying to. Yeah, this is a pretty sharp turn here. I think it'll be all right. Kind of think it'll be all right too, because why would they have given you that much room, right? Though we probably could have taken up a little more space. We got extra room here. Yeah, we made it right around. Our switch is switched. Now let's go find another lost rail car. That seems to be a theme with me, doesn't it? Oh. Microsoft. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not, but Microsoft wanted to tell me that OneDrive is not connected. Very important to interrupt my game and recording to tell me that. Thank you. I don't know. The OneDrive, I don't know. Don't we live in enough of a surveillance state? I mean, I'm sure it's helpful for a lot of people, but and Microsoft could probably steal whatever information they want off your computer anyway, so I guess I'm just being paranoid. And I have used it at times, but alright, so we're gonna probably want a little bit of brake. Now it could have been that the car fell down the hill. Alright, it's gonna be on the other side if that happened. Other side of this bridge is where it happened. I didn't even really look down there. I should probably stop and look. Unless I can peer over with my super helicopter vision here. Yeah, I probably can see well enough. It's a long way down. I wouldn't want to fall down that in real life. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to stop. Because right... Yeah, see, it would have been right in this area. Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's just keep on going. I would think that we would have seen it if it was down there. I don't know that, but see, I don't think it could make it up that other bridge. If it stayed on the tracks and just started rolling away, I could see that other bridge right up ahead, I think. Or maybe that's not it, but I think it is. Yeah, that's it. I bet you we're going to find it right down in that area. Pretty cool, though. We built a railroad track up into the mountains. We got some half of coal working. Oh, I didn't even look at how many beams. Like, even if I did a full load, I see it up ahead. It's right there. Believe it or not, it's behind trees, so you can't see it. But there it is, coming towards us. Let's stop. So let's do... Oh, come on. Alright, I guess I might as well put that right in there. Yeah, so I think we're just going to push this back down. There's no point in really bringing it back up. I mean, I guess it could save us a little bit, but I'd just as soon keep going straight. Kind of a fair distance into the trip back. And if I could drop it off there, I would head back up, but I can't, so. Wrong way. There we go. So let's take this brake back off. Yeah, we're out of firewood a lot. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is just I'll cut the recording. If something happens, you know, I'll come back and show you if we derailed, but probably just going to take it slow, get back down to the lumber yard so we can, you know, get ready to bring up some beams. And I think that'll be a little bit more dramatic than just going down the rails. You know, you guys could watch me switch things out. We can even see, you know, what do we do with a little bit of a semi-emergency situation. Let's see how we make it. Well, I made it down here and filled up. I thought about, well, you know what? There's not going to be that much yard work. I went around and switched all the switches. We could actually keep driving right around in a circle. Let me show you what I want to do. I want to come in here. Probably don't need to do it exactly this way, but let's go. I want to go and take this and drop it off over this side a little bit. And then we'll be able to pick this guy up. Again, I don't think it matters too much how we do this exactly, because we could just back all the way around to here, which might actually be smarter. But I didn't actually think about that until I just said it. I had in my mind, I had in my mind that I was going to drop this guy off over here, but then the signals were all going right in, and I thought about, it's like, you know, why don't we just go put this guy over here? And again, like I said, I probably could have just left it where it was, but I'm not sure that it matters that much anyway. We'll just go, just because I want to get it, I don't want it in front. You know, I know it would survive there perfectly well, but there we go. So now that's on. We have a link in there, so let's go undetach this guy. Right. And then let's just make sure there's not a link in this one. If there is. All right, so I took that one out. So that way when we come around, there's not, because it won't link if you have two of them in there. All right, so now we should, assuming I got all my signals right, which of course I did. We should be able to just back all the way around back to here, pick it up, and then flip our signals to go back out. Now, our only other issue, well, maybe we flip the signals for when we come back, and then I'll be doing some of that hauling by myself. But I'm hoping we have some time. I mean, I know we're probably 50 minutes in almost now, but we can go over a little bit. Like I said, it's more a file size issue, and I've been okay with the episode so far, I think, up until this point. Not causing too many issues if it's an hour and 10 minutes or something. Let's see, maybe we can race up there. Now that we know we at least have track the whole way, we can not race up there, but let's see if we can make better time. We won't be stopping for other stuff, because I would like to at least see some coal in there before the end of the episode. I think that would be kind of nice. These signals, yeah, that one means it's coming from this way, and then the far one. Gonna turn this back in, and then we should, if we're doing the loop, I should flip this one back to coming in this way, right? So that way when I come back, this one's proper. I don't have to remember. Slow down a little bit. Right, and then I have to flip this one to go that way. So that way when that one will be right from now on. Like if we're making the loop down to the lumber, to the beams. Now we're going to have a problem to work out, and I don't plan on doing too much of this dropping off stuff. Maybe get in the ballpark of 50 beams up there. Oh, geez, I'm hitting that kind of hard, didn't I? That's not too realistic. I'm sure I did damage. I wonder if they do plan on... I haven't heard anything. Do they plan on adding any kind of a damage sort of... Hear the noise? Let's take the brake off. Yeah, it would be interesting if they did. Because really right now people complain about the derailing, and it is a bit of a pain. Oh, you know what? Let's go flip both of these signals. And then you know what? I need to check. Actually, this other one's wrong too. Because I came in. So this is the one. I kind of wish this one was closer. Because you have to come all the way out here and flip this. So maybe what we do in the future is talk about putting our firewood stations, you know, right where we have to always flip these things. Because then we could drive up, get wood, get water, sand, whatever else we need, and then go on our merry way. All right, so then this one's going to, when we come back, or when I come back, I'm going to need this one to be, oops, messed it up. Come on. Oh, it's the opposite. Yeah, the hitboxes are a little goofy with the, you have to do it opposite if you're standing on the opposite side of that switch. So there we go. So that's switched for coming back. So we should be able to just fly right back in, pick up another load of beams, take them up there. So how many are we going to get up there? 3. We're only going to have 15 beams. You know, but this is fine because I can drop off the beams first, and then I can drop off 10 more, you know, 10 more of these rails, and so that'll get us 10 coal going, or 15 coal going. Oops, we're doing reverse. And the 15 coal will be, well, nice. So then we can talk about the next thing, which is going to be, well, let's see, we have, once we have the coal, we can fire up the ironworks, but we'll have to take raw iron down there. But that'll give us steel pipes and tools, which means we can then start up the crude oil, and then once we have the crude oil, we can also fire up the refinery. The refinery needs steel pipes and lumber. So it will be interesting to get the refinery going, because if nothing else, we're going to probably run into a little bit of a beam versus lumber issue, I would think. It seems like we're using... It seems like we're going to use far more beams than lumber. And I don't know how much I'm going to keep playing, you know, unless they start adding more. Like at some point, once I connect everything, I don't know how much more, even if I keep playing it, I'm not sure how many more episodes I would make of me driving around trains. Not that I don't think that that's interesting, but, you know, at some point, I think you guys will have seen me go back and forth. We might be able to improve things and, you know, ramp it up another notch, of course, but I don't know that, you know, there's going to come a natural point where I run out of things, so. All right, well, let me be quiet, and we'll just have a nice, peaceful ride the whole way up there. How's that sound? I think I changed my mind already. I think I'd like to give you guys a play-by-play as to what I'm thinking. So we're going to want to try to do this hill. We've got it's a little bit of a sharp turn. I didn't like the way we were bouncing. One of my goals is to be able to go the whole way at 30 on the regulator. Of course, going downhill is a different issue, but you know, at a pretty good clip, not crazy. But the equivalent of 30 on a flat, right? So a little worried about this. See how it looks. No, that's nothing to worry about. Just because we had changed it. So let me... usually cut it down a little bit right here because this is a bit of a sharp turn. Now we made it better and it's not... I used to slow it down to 20. I probably could even take that at 30, no problem, but... And then the switch is definitely right because that's the way we just came down. Because I think you'd be better off stopping on this bridge or even before it and then running up there and flipping it. So I'm going to be quiet while it's loud again. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. It should be pretty smooth sailing for quite a while now, up until we get pretty close to that other bridge. So I think I'm just going to try to leave it on 55. Unless I get nervous. We're out of fuel, but we still have a little bit of temperature in our firebox. I'm hoping to make it to that bridge, to the big bridge, because that's kind of downhill, so I'm thinking we could, if I have to stop, it would be a little easier. It's sort of all a little bit uphill. That's why, even doing 55, that's why I think we're not having any issues. so far. Yeah, so now our fire temperature is below 100, so we still have boiler pressure and water temperature to go in that respect. That was the one spot I wasn't real sure about. I think we'll be pretty clear up until that bridge now. Or maybe it's this other bridge is worse, I don't know. But I think that was one of the turns I was concerned about going fairly quick through. By the time you talk to me again in another episode, I'll probably figured a lot of that stuff out, mastered it, so to speak. We're just about there. I think it's just ahead. We're not. We're about to get, our water temperature is about to go below 100, so that's when we start losing steam pressure. The thing I don't like about pushing it is that we might have to stop, because the fire temperature will take a while to get back up if we let this go down too far. But I'm also curious just to see how far we make it, because we had to do the whole backing up thing down there to get the cart on the right side. So will I normally just plan on stopping up here at this bridge? And I think I can, right? If I can repeat this cycle, I can stop at a pretty good spot, fill it back up before it gets too low, and then yeah, this is a long way off. Alright, let me hit the brakes. That's the bridge right there. Not too bad. I think in the future, when I didn't have to do... So that does tell me we need to get this going. Alright, there we go. So now our temperature should come back up. We can get rolling again. It's a lot of uphill, but hopefully our temperatures will recover before we actually run out of steam. And I can shut this regulator off at a point, and we won't lose as much temperature or pressure if we're not burning any, or if we're not using the cylinders. Matter of fact, you can see that's going up now, because the temperature will drop off if you use too much steam, which makes sense. Yeah, even if this is okay, I don't like it. I think we need to straighten that out, move that over somehow, you know. Oops, take the brake off too. Let it get it rolling, el natural, no try to hold off on. Oh yeah, look, we already got our temperatures up kind of enough. Let's give it a little more regulator. Should be uphill a little bit. It's so hard to tell. Like I said, I really do wish there was like a level indicator. I think one game used to have, wasn't it Train Simulator used to have a level indicator? And one of them had it. See how we do. Could we just hold this 44 a little bit less than on the way up because this isn't a straight, but if we can hold 44, that's as good as any other track I've built. Now we know at least this. I guess the worst will be, do we derail at 44 on this sharp turn? Do we derail? See, that's kind of sharp right there too. Right through it. You can see how it's really yanking those cars around. That could be smoothed out a bit. I think we'll be alright. I think we're also going to be alright because we're going up a bit of a hill, so that'll slow us down. Nice and smooth. I think that's part of it too. You can have turns. Definitely just smooth is more important. I mean, there is a point that this turn is just too darn sharp, but that's pretty sharp right there too. But at the same time, I think smooth is even more important. See, that's too sharp right there, I think. Not too sharp that we're gonna have a problem, but if we wanted to go even faster, that's a problem. Well, we'll fix those things as time goes on, make some upgrades, especially as we, we're just trying to forge ahead and get it done. But it certainly seems like this track building is a ongoing kind of project. It's sort of, I don't want to say it doesn't end, but it's an ongoing concern, I guess we would have been better off going in the other way, but I'll just drop off the beams first, at least 4 of the cart loads, and then we'll back up and get the rails if we need to. I think we probably will need to, right? Because we want to at least, we don't want to waste the rails, and I think that if your queue is full, it's just going to throw them on the ground, and by that I mean make them disappear, throw them in the trash. Which I've heard is a cheap method for some people, like, will get rid of the beams because they just want to sell their lumber. I don't really like that. I don't even like that the game deletes it. I think, I understand why the game don't like that the game deletes it. Yeah, so I'm going to assume this lumber platform is like the others, and it's not very forgiving for this beam platform. All right, are you going in? Yeah. See, don't try that one. I don't think that'll work. I'm not even willing to risk it. Not for the price of these beams that take to get all the way to come up here. That's it, guys. We should have some coal, and I'm gonna have a little bit of an excuse to not make. Great. Is that? And I did want to mention something else. I've been like one at a time making these marks on the ground, and it really would be better if you just pulled the train forward to like the last car. It doesn't show up very well, does it? Like just pull up to the very last car, get that last car situated, then you can just go right along and do them all. But then again, you only have to do it once too. So there, I can see logs disappear. Well, let me call this. You know what? Let me just stop right here. I'll deal with unloading them. But we'll see that we have coal, and we'll call that an episode. Just notice the time is kind of getting way over. But there we go. We have 6 coal. I dropped off 6 of these, so unload 2 more carts. Drop this guy back off here, because if I tried to right now, I think we'd lose 4 of the rails. So I got to unload at least 4 more of these, which means 2 rail cars. All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we have coal. So I guess on one of the next episodes, after I run some stuff, and let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. We got back up to 2,900, so we'll be over 3,000 by the time I drop this stuff off. And if I take a few more trips up here, you know, might get up to 4,000. What does it cost us to get a new locomotive? 4 or 5, right? We don't want that. I mean, this guy, which I'm not sure. Should we go for that? I don't know. The climax. And as somebody was saying that some of them are for higher speed. I think the Heisler, yeah, this is higher torque. I think we may go with the Heisler if we can afford it. How much is that guy? 5,600. It's really no different than this one. But I think this is the one that's higher speed. I'll check in on that. This one's higher torque. I don't know what the Mogul's good at. Lower torque, but I want the higher torque one, right? This one's pretty good too, but, or I don't know, you know, torque-wise. Well, I'll have to look into what they all mean. Eureka, fancy looking. That's a pretty low tractive effort there. All right, no, I better get going. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll deal with a new locomotive when we get up to about $6,000. How's that sound? But in the meantime, let's just see what my normal flow in our economy forward a little bit will do for us as far as getting closer to money and a new locomotive. All right, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.